Alright guys, so I found something kind of funny while I was sifting through the internet looking for articles to react to, because once in a while we like to do those article videos. There is a Pokemon clones curator list on Steam with little descriptions and stuff, and honestly some of them were so funny that I kind of had to cover this in its own video because, I mean, why not? So here we can see there's only 16 games, so whoever put this together clearly gave up. And why Steam allows people to make these public lists like this that are just trash is beyond me, but let's check out some of these. So we have Soul Locust. I've never played it, but this is the description. Tower defense with Pokemon. Thanks. This next game is just no description. Here, informational regarding Cerulean. Collect and summon strange and fantastic monsters and beasts. Pokemon clone, clearly. Cerulean 3, the same thing. Cerulean 2, the same thing. Cerulean 1, the same thing. Now, if anybody's actually played Cerulean, this game is the furthest thing from Pokemon while still being a monster taming game that you could possibly get. If you ever played 6-on-6 battles in Pokemon with like a billion different traits and all this other crap that goes on in Cerulean that is so confusing that I don't even understand what's going on half the time, I think not. Monster Sanctuary, a side-scrolling Metroid-ish game, still uses turn combat. Mons have skill trees. Art reminiscent of Terraria. Really? Relegend, a third-person 3D game. This seems to deviate far from typical Pokemon game, with adventuring, farming, mining, etc. I'm not even sure if Monster Collection is a part, but there are pets. You see. Oh, why did this show up in the Google results? Whoever created this, I don't even know if it says. I'm not gonna try to find out, but it's just funny. Disc Creatures is a very tradition style Pokemon game. Art like RBY. Disc Creatures is not like Pokemon at all. The combat's 3-on-3. If anything, it plays more like Dragon Quest Monsters. I don't even know what. Coromon is more standard turn-based combat monster collection. Art very similar to RSE. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to call something a Pokemon clone, I mean, Coromon is pretty close. Again, I'd still call it a Pokemon-like, but whatever. Adore is 3D isometric roguelite with monster pals. It's not a Pokemon clone. It plays more like League of Friggin' Legends. Nexomon also seems pretty standard. Style looks similar to Pokemon Black and White, but line art instead of pixel. Now, this idea that Pokemon is the standard for monster taming, I don't care how popular Pokemon is. Monster taming, it's standard. The default doesn't revolve around what's the most popular. The default revolves around what the genre is. Default monster taming is literally just if a game was something that let you catch monsters and fight with them. It doesn't have to be Pokemon. There are plenty of games that play like Pokemon that aren't anything like Pokemon. I don't like this idea that Pokemon's the default. Like, Dragon Quest Monsters is just as much a monster taming game as Pokemon is. Deviating from Pokemon doesn't make you less of a monster tamer. Monster Crown looks like a very traditional Pokemon game. Art similar to GSC. Breeding Mons makes new hybrids. It's nothing like a traditional Pokemon game. It just looks kind of like one. Ooblets looks like sort of chill lifestyle of an Animal Crossing game with monster collection. Third person low poly art. I mean, I guess, again, I wouldn't call it anything like Pokemon. They friggin' do dance battles. Temtem online low poly monster battler. And that's pretty much it for the list. Again, I was originally going to do a article video where I sort of covered, you know, one of these games journalists, but this popped up while I was looking and I couldn't help myself. So whoever made this, do better. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.